Hello, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Favour, Okpaleze. So today we're going to be discussing something very important and interesting. So this is a topic that a lot of people engage in. This is something that a lot of people shun from or shy away from or just don't want to discuss. Anyhow you want to put it, it's interesting and it's important. So that topic is sex. We're going to be discussing sex today. Yeah, you're hearing it from me. Okay, so meanwhile, before we continue, if you have not subscribed, please make sure take out this 1 second to hit that red button that says subscribe, yeah, and then the bell that comes up after to get notifications whenever I post my new videos. And to my returning subscribers, mwah, I love you guys. You guys are the best. So without further ado, let's just start this video. So like I said, today we're discussing sex, more especially, in fact, we are mostly going to be discussing sex outside of marriage. Yeah, sex outside of marriage. Because when you say sex before marriage, it's like a leeway for self-deception. So it's better put sex outside marriage. So I've heard a lot of things concerning sex outside of marriage, and we live in a highly sexualized generation. See, everything down to the simplest adverts, like everything sort of has a sexual innuendo to it. And I wonder, how did we get to this point? Well, we have found ourselves here, and this is a very important topic that we have to discuss, so we are going to discuss it. Sex is something that even children that you think they should not know at certain age do know, because like I said, this is a highly sexualized generation. The kind of exposure, the kind of sexual exposure that I see in some kids these days, I wonder how, like I said, how did we get here? But it is well. It is well. Okay, so I've heard a lot of things. I've heard a lot of things concerning sex outside of marriage. I've heard a lot of positive things. Recognize I said positive in quotes, because to them they think that these things that they have quoted are positive, but those that know the truth that they are not positive. In the long run, they are going to hurt you. So one of the positive things I've heard, one of the pros or the advantages I've heard about sex outside of marriage, the most popular one is sexual compatibility. You must know how compatible you are to the person you're going to marry tomorrow, because yes. Many times when you hear them talking about this sexual compatibility, it just seems like marriage is all about sex. I don't understand how the biggest part of compatibility you are checking is the sexual compatibility. So I'm going to go into the other things, but like this is how they put it, that you need to find the person that you are compatible with sexually before you marry the person. So another quote, another advantage they would usually that is usually quoted is to gain sexual experience, because you want to fire down. Hey, when you get married, you want everywhere to pour, you want everywhere to be hot with your plenty PhD in sex. Like I said, we are coming to it. I'm just going to be listing them out. So the next pro that is being quoted is so that you'll be able to find out the sexual problems that you have or the person you're going to marry has. It's all right. It's all right. You know, like the Bible says that stolen waters is sweet. But see the problem with stolen water, as it is sweet. In the purge belly, stolen water is sweet. Yeah, no wahala, but in the purge belly. So the belly purging Now we go discuss. We are going to be discussing the disadvantages, the real problems with sex outside of marriage, especially sex before marriage. Generally, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so number one, we all know first and foremost that it is a sin. You know, when Bible was talking about flee, it did not say run, it did not say walk away from. He said flee from youthful lust. See, this is part of it. I think this is the most part of it when it comes to youthful lust. Especially in this generation, this is the height of youthful lust. And the Bible says flee. That means as you dey run, make your leg they touch. Say you've watched all these cartoons that when they are running, their leg they reach their head. Some of them they cross safe. Yes, that is the kind of run the Bible meant, that you should run away from youthful lust. It is a sin. So another disadvantage of sex outside of marriage is that you're defiling your body. You're defiling your own body by your own self. Like, we all know that our bodies are the temples of God, and God does not dwell where there is immorality. So many times we cry out for purity and all, but then we forget that there is something called sexual purity. So you are defiling your own body by your own self. You are practically telling God to pack from your body. You are practically telling God to leave you alone. That is just what you're practically telling God when one engages in that act. Another disadvantage is mistrust, because Pastor Kis Lokonkwo said that that a fornicator is an adulterer in practice. So what makes you think that your partner is going to trust you? Because you are able to give it up as a single person to him or to her. The person will now have that feeling that you may be able to give it up to somebody else. So when there is no trust in a relationship, in a marriage, what is left? What actually is left? So it leads to mistrust. Another problem with sex outside of marriage is that it creates an inability to pair bond. Like, this happens especially for women. When you engage in sex, there's a hormone in your body that is released to your brain, and it's like, I've had this analogy a lot of times. It's like sellotape or sticky tape, whichever one you want to call it. When you stick it to something and it sticks, and you remove it and stick it to another thing, it sticks, you remove it. Just try it for like 5 times and it loses that power. It loses the ability to stick to any other thing. That is what sex outside of marriage does. You lose that ability to actually pair bond with the person that you have now married. Because you need to pair bond for you to be able to enjoy that experience. Because the truth is, sex is an experience that has been reserved only for the married. Only for the married. Like I said, when I listed the supposed pros of marriage, a lot of people would say that they use it to build experience. But the truth is, the experience you are building it for who exactly? When you can actually build the experience the way that God has programmed it to be, you are supposed to build the experience with the person that you marry. So that experience you want to build, who are you building it for? In building the experience, you now lack the ability to attach to the person that you have married. So that is like a waste of your time, a waste of emotion, a waste of sin. Let me put it like that. A waste of sin. Every sin is sin, and every sin is a waste. That is a waste of sin. So a waste of a waste. If you get what I mean. Yeah. And now, like when I was listening to the pros, I also mentioned that factor of looking for sexual compatibility. Meanwhile, in the original program of God. If the man and the woman are virgins and they meet themselves in marriage, you don't have any prior experience, so you are compatible. Because many times we go crazy whenever we hear about sexual like, how do you even know? How do you know that you are compatible? The reason why you are able to say, okay, you are compatible to this person or to that person is because you have tested A, B, C, D, E, F, G to Z. And in doing that, you are building experience against yourself, because now you have plenty comparisons to compare your wife or your husbands to. So this person does it like this person does this one like this, does the other one like this. You are not being fair to yourself, neither are you being fair to your partner. So that whole experience and that whole searching for compatibility, how do you know you will like the soup except you taste it? If that is the only soup you knew from day one, you will like it. If that is the only soup you knew from day one till thy kingdom come, you will love it even. You are automatically compatible to it, because that is the only experience you have. The reason why you are searching for compatibility up and down is because you have built unnecessary experience. Another disadvantage of, sex outside of marriage has a lot of disadvantages. Pregnancy, some people call it unwanted. Me, I don't see. Every pregnancy is wanted, because you know the act that you need to engage in to get pregnant, and you engage in that act. So it's not unwanted, it's wanted. anyhow you put it, it is wanted, because every action has a repercussion. So yeah, there is pregnancy, there is regret, there is mistrust, there is possibility of carrying disease, even life-threatening diseases. And another of the disadvantages is that you connect yourself to people and to spirits that you have no business being connected to. Many people think that sex is just a physical act. When the Bible was talking about two becoming one, what makes the two one? It is sex that makes the two one. So you have joined yourself to somebody that you have no business being joined to. You have joined yourself to a spirit, or to spirits even, that you have no business being joined to. Many people think that to be possessed is whenever you see yourself underwater, or whenever you are flying in the air in the middle of the night. No. Because, it's like somebody is carrying 10 spirits and meet somebody else that is carrying 50 spirits, and they meet themselves in sex. And then after that, these two individuals now have 60 each. They go out to meet others, and that is how they begin to build and to connect themselves legally now by themselves to spirits. They begin to open themselves up. They begin to lose control, the control that has been given to them by God of their spirit man. Sex is not just a physical act. If by now you don't know, please know that sex is not just a physical act. It is also a joining of spirits, not just a joining of bodies. Because as you meet yourselves, your spirits meet. As you meet yourselves, your emotions meet. So, why put yourself through that? Because of a few minutes of pleasure. Why put yourself through that? And tomorrow something is being manifested in your life, and you don't know where it is from. It is not from your village. It is you that have put yourself in that problem. The reason why sexual immorality is a sin against God and against yourself is it's not just that you have sinned against God. You have sinned against your own spirit. So it's like you are punishing yourself by yourself alone. So if we want to list all the disadvantages of sex outside of marriage, we will not live here today. We will not live here today. And even studies, this is not like Bible something again, because people will be like, you are being overly pious. This is not being overly pious. Even studies, scientific studies, or let me just say general societal studies, have shown that those that engage in sex outside of marriage reduce their chances of a happy marriage by a significant number. They significantly reduce their chances of being happy in a marriage. And the chances of the marriage surviving is reduced. So why would you put yourself through that? See, if sex, I saw that a few days ago. If sex was love, prostitutes would have a lot of love. For those that believe that if I am giving this up, I am showing him or her that I love him. No, you're not. If anything, this is especially for the ladies, if anything, you are giving him a reason not to settle, or not to settle down with you. Because you give up that thing that is precious so easily, and because you give it up so easily, you are being taken so lightly. How many of those relationships, and then some people would say, okay, if you have been engaged to marry, you can have sex. If you have been engaged to marry, that engagement can break tomorrow. Until marriage, nothing is sure. See, engagement can break on the day of the wedding. So what now happens? If you love the person, how do you even know that you love this person? Because the truth is, sex outside of marriage or before marriage clouds your judgment. You are not able to analyze situations, because small thing will not come across. You are not able to now see the red flags when they begin to fly. When they begin to fly, you think that they are setting sheets for you. No. These were, so a lot of people have found themselves in a marriage that they have no business in. Why? Because their judgment had been clouded. They thought that marriage was all about sex. So after a few minutes of sex and the remaining hours of the day, what are you going to be doing with yourselves? The truth is, a lot of married people, if they saw some of the things they're experiencing in their marriage, if they were seeing with clear eyes, they wouldn't marry the person they are married to. Why? Because they would be able to engage the person in discussions. They're able to critically analyze things and not be clouded with that thought of, oh, this person makes you feel a certain way. Sex, when it comes to sex. Because the person may be great in the aspect of sex and a shitty human being. Sorry for the word. And a terrible human being. A lot of people are in toxic relationships because they are attached to the sex in the relationship. They find it difficult to break away because I have given myself to this person. But if you had not given yourself to this person, you're able to like break away and still remain friends. And then see, being friends with that ex even that you have engaged in now is problem, because now firewood. Now, old firewood, they quick catch fire, if you get what I mean. For people that don't understand what I just said, it's an old firewood that attracts fire easily. Why? Because that bridge has been burned down already. But without sex being involved, they're able to, even when, let's say the relationship does not work, it happens. If it does not work, you're able to break away cleanly and easily without any guilt, without any regrets, without any wound to your spirit man and to your heart and to your psyche. See, this video has gone on for too long. It's longer than I expected, but I'll be signing out here. let's continue this discussion in the comment section below. So in the comment section, what do you think? What and what did I miss out? I know I did not say everything in this video. So what and what did I miss out? Let us continue the discussion in the description, or sorry, in the comment section below. And I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. If you are not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. I'll be seeing you guys. Bye.